Yo. It's Kwamega, man, from Chicagoland. And I'm just thinking about certain things, like the meaning of being a square. What's a square? L7.
The kid is a L7 weenie.
So this is dedicated to anybody who has ever been denigrated, intimidated, shamed for being lame.
Let me break this down to you. You gotta kick the language as if you got it going on. You know, like with the program.
Like a Microsoft Word program on my computer?
No, man, listen to me.
Anybody who ever felt despair because somebody called you a square.
Look here, chump. The master don't see nobody, especially no jive coolies.
Yeah, he don't see no one who don't know how to get down, baby.
Hey,
you dig, bro? You too square, man.
Square dude.
Let me say it so he can understand it, Jim. What?
Just right off the bat, I have no issue being called a square at all. I am proudly a square. Let me tell you why. As a man, I am that on which I stand. And what is that I stand on? My square. My principles, my purpose, righteousness. So yes, I'm a square. Proud to be one.
See, now it is mumbo jumbo like that.
Yes. That nigga a lame, man. That nigga a loser, man. Fuck him. He ain't no street nigga.
Cause there's a difference between being a thug and being damn.
Say what you will. I ain't got shit to prove. Let's think about other cultures and ethnicities. Who do they push to the forefront to represent their culture, their ethnicity? It's the squares. It's not members of the underworld. And no disrespect to anybody who fashions himself a gangster, who labels himself a thug. But we just gotta keep it real. In our culture, in the black community, the so-called black community, who are the figureheads that we glorify? It's often entertainers that promote a criminal lifestyle.
Magnificent. I can't believe it.
A lifestyle that romanticizes harming other people.
Punk ass
Jerry Tone, nigga, do some big nigga.
Fuck that.
A lifestyle that romanticizes degradation of the community. So who do we need to be putting first? Who do we need to be putting at the forefront to represent our culture, our ethnicity? Shout out to the scientists, the scienticians, the technicians, the engineers and the electricians, and the mathematicians. Shout out to the STEM practitioners. That's who we need to start putting at the forefront to represent us. And shout out to the everyday blue collar worker too. You know, when we say technicians, that includes the mechanics. People with technical knowledge and technical skills. Shout out to the plumbers. Feel me? And yo, this ain't no slight at some of the white collar professionals. Shout out to the legal scholars, to the lawyers. Shout out to the accountants. Shout out to the motherfuckers that can read and write and speak well.
Did you just congratulate me for reading?
Word. Oh yeah, man. You know, it's good shit, homie. Word, you know what I mean? You know that reading shit, you know what I mean? It's hard, son. Word, you know what I mean? Word, you know what I mean? Especially when them books be, you know what I mean? You know, real thick and heavy like, you know what I mean? Word, you know what I mean?
Stand on your square. Shout out to the squares who standing firmly on their square, on their purpose. Just make sure that your purpose is a positive one that is aligned with righteousness. Feel me? You know, a square is the foundation of a pyramid.
Teach!
Square is my foundation because it's what I stay rooted in. My square. Ain't nothing wrong with being a square. Actually, it's preferred.
Nigga, please.
I don't want to say that we're the only culture that does this, but black people, so-called black people, Negroes, glorifying criminals, idolizing criminals. Now I understand that there's probably some type of obsession with lawlessness in greater American culture. I can understand that, I guess. I mean, not to justify, not to say that this is good, you know, because what is lawful and what is lawless can, you know, the lines can get blurred sometimes, especially when you have certain things as a legislature codifying what wrongdoing is, when it's arguable whether it was wrong or not, whether it is wrong or not. So you all should just look up the difference between malum prohibitum and malum in se. But in any event, it seems that in our culture, we idolize the shooters. Respect the shooter, respect the shooter. And that's a problem. What's crazy is you have all of these people that want to be recognized as a non-square, a street nigga, publicly. And why? Do you understand the type of life and stress and strife you're gonna have to experience?
I don't want to do this stupid shit no more. I'm tired of getting shot. Help!
All because you wanted to be recognized as the man in these streets.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this time?
Hey, y'all can have it. I'm finna try to get with the scientists and the technicians, engineers and electricians and the mathematicians. That's what I'm on. What's the science? Yo, what's the science, son?
Biology is so real.
You know what I'm saying? Because science is knowledge. And every man should be seeking knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So many people who clown the squares, they reach the age 35, the only basic life skills they got is knowing how many grams is in an ounce. Knowing how many ounces is in a pound.
Learn how to put the motherfucking weed in the bags first, then get money.
Shit is crazy. So when you talk about building a community and rebuilding a community, what do architects use? A T-square. Shout out to the architects and the T-squares. More squares staying on their square. There's all this talk about Pookies and Ray Rays, and I ain't trying to shit on the Pookies and the Ray Rays, but we gotta recognize the squares, you know? We gotta recognize how solid the squares are. We gotta recognize how difficult it is sometimes in life to be a square. How much you gotta sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? The restraint it takes to refrain from engaging in unscrupulous activities, engaging in dishonorable activities, less than honorable activities. You know, the strength it takes to refrain from get rich quick schemes like theft, robbery, or worse. Because it could have been way easier as far as instant gratification is concerned to go ahead and pick up a pistol and go rob the next man.
We need a car. We're gonna have to jack someone. Where's your gun?
As a square, you said, nope. I'd rather go through the struggle of waking up at the crack of dawn, hopping on the bus. Shout out to the discipline it took to wake up, hop on that bus, go to that gig, punch that clock. Because there's other people out here who ain't got that strength. They got the thirst for instant gratification, which is a weakness. Don't ever let nobody shame you for being a square.
Yo, look, it's Steve the Dweeb.
As long as you're a solid individual, a solid man, staying on your purpose, staying on your grind, knowing exactly what you gotta do, knowing exactly what you need to stay away from. Guess what? No matter what they say, the ones who always called you a square are the ones who are going to be most dependent on your mind, on your brilliance. Because it's the squares who remain on their square and increase their value. Not only to themselves, but their value to the community at large. If you're standing on your square, firmly, rooted, squarely on your purpose, shout out to you. Peace and love. Kwamega Man signing out.